again, the process for that is a voucher was submitted to the county clerk's office. And then it came, I think there was a time period when, perhaps when Mr. Pytosh was the clerk, that didn't even go to the county clerk. They were, these were special revenue accounts, and I think the money was paid under the signature of the elected official. The idea being, if there's that the elected official had control over that account, not the Board of Commissioners. Ms. Braid has changed that practice. Contrary to the facts, and again, none of these are cited by the Attorney General, that their investigation indicates that Mr. Holzhausen was told you can't do this. When you look at the top of page 5 of this information, this is an interview with Deborah Carroll, the Drain Commission Secretary. She states, Carroll recalls that Mary Baginski told Gary Holzhausen to go before the Board of Commissioners and obtain an authorization to charge the waiver fee. When you look at the interview with Mary Baginski at page 6, about the middle of that interview, Baginski was asked about the soil erosion inspection fees. She advised Gary Holzhausen never vouchered those fees while she worked in the office. In reviewing the dates of the 2 vouchers, Baginski is correct about this. Holzhausen did not put in a voucher for the fees until after she left office, which was September. She left in late July. Baginski advised that she did have conversations with Holzhausen over the proper protocol over the fees. She advised him that he would have to have approval from the Board of Commissioners and Economic and Fiscal Development on what money he could take. Baginski advised that Holzhausen and his wife Nikki had talked about the fees, and Nikki wanted him to claim the fees. Nikki told Deb Carroll to take care of it. Baginski told Carroll not to do it unless Gary told her to. Gary Holzhausen indicates that he was told in his statement that he was told by Butcher and the office secretary, Deb Carroll, that was okay to vouch his fees. Nobody told him he could. There's a couple different ways to look at this. I think, or I would submit to you that these are different categories. In other words, the fees that Mr. Butcher or even that Mr. Holzhausen took that were legitimately authorized by board action. And again, the Attorney General takes issue with that, and I have all the minutes. Those fees, I mean, the inspections were done, the fees were paid. The inspections were done, the county isn't per se out that money, because the service that was supposed to be provided was provided. That's not true in the case of these waivers, because and that's money that was paid back to the public by the county because they were charged improperly. And really, Mr. Butcher can make the contention that there was some kind of an implied authorization. Obviously, there was some awareness that this was happening. I wasn't personally aware of it, but some officials in the county had to be aware of it. There isn't any applied approval for starting to charge this waiver fee, and then deciding, I'm unilaterally deciding to charge the public a fee, and then unilaterally deciding how much of that fee you're going to take. So I feel the board has a duty to recover those fees for Mr. Holzhausen. the issue about the balance, it's up to the board. There's certainly argument to be made that all of these fees should be sought from these two individuals. Because, again, no one has looked at this, has come up with any authorization to voucher these fees in the manner that was done. Does the board have any questions?
Anyone from the board have questions of the prosecutor?
Can the Grand Commissioner speak?
Well, at this time, we're still dealing with the commissioners. There's a motion on the floor. And actually, we had...
May I mention one other thing? The information that was provided yet about this, that mentions waiver and stuff, it has nothing to do with this situation. I provided you a copy with one on page 12 of this information. There's an application under the soil control. It's stamped no permit required. When they're doing that, they're saying this regulatory scheme does not apply to this. If that in fact isn't what they mean, then that's a terrible error in saying there isn't a permit required when really there is. That's the waiver. No permit required. It means this act, this Soil Erosion Act, doesn't apply.
Any of the commissioners have questions of Commissioner Stewart?
Thank you. The public is paying for these inspections currently, right? So that, I'm just wondering, if the public's paying for these inspections currently, they were refunded the money for the ones that they paid, they essentially got those for free? I'm just...
We're talking about the waiver situation. Okay? Essentially, in the waiver situation, everybody gets that for free. As far as I know, they still do. I don't think a fee's being charged for the waiver situation, or ever was until Mr. Holtzhausen took office.
It's not currently being charged.
Not that I'm aware of. Again, I haven't really kept up with
And that's what they
fees
were
have changed or anything.
And that's what they were refunding.
Yes.
It's just the waiver.
Correct.
Any other commissioners have questions of the prosecutor?
The Grand Commissioner
Yes,
have
ma'am.
to speak?
Well, this is just, we had the opportunity to address the board at the beginning of the meeting. And that was the forum at that time for Grand Commissioner and anyone else who wanted to speak.
Oh.
Commissioner Pavlika, I guess I return the floor back over